begin News Night tonight with the developments coming in. At least 5 persons escaping unhurt as an Allied air cargo aircraft with registration number 5NJRT skid off runway 22 at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport here in Abuja. That prompted a temporary shutdown of the airport. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN confirmed the incident, which occurred at 10:05 a.m. on Wednesday, with all passengers safely evacuated without injury. Well, information from the National Safety Investigation Bureau says the airport has now been reopened for business.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau has commenced investigation into the runway excursion involving a Boeing 737-400 cargo aircraft operated by Allied Air. In a statement signed by NSIB's Director of Public Affairs, Bimbo Oladeji, the statement says emergency response teams were promptly deployed to the scene to ensure the safety of all personnel and secure the site, as no fatality or injuries to the crew or ground personnel have been reported. It also adds that investigation to determine the causal and contributory factors that led to this incident has been initiated.
Well, it's yet again another disaster averted at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, while the country is still waiting for the outcome of the investigation on the recent crash in Port Harcourt. Let's have a chat with the Director General, National Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, Alex Badeh Jr. Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. Let's begin with the preliminary investigations. What do we know, in addition to what we've just read? What more can we tell Nigerians about the incidents that happened at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport today?
I can assure them that the air is still the safest means of travel in Nigeria. The airplane lost its right main gear on landing today. We've downloaded the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder sometime this evening. And we'll get back to it tomorrow to try to figure out what happened. We've interviewed the pilots and the engineers on board. So we have 30 days for the prelim reports. We'll have that out here fairly quickly. And I know you mentioned the Port Harcourt one. The prelim is ready. We'll have it out on Tuesday as well for that one. So,
Indeed, but this is raising concerns among Nigerians. Yes, air travel remains the safest. However, we're beginning to see planes skid off the runway. It's an incident as well to be worried about. I know you said you have started an investigation to take 30 days, if I heard you correctly. But can you tell us from your professional opinion of what you know so far about what has happened now and previously? Was there anything about the runway really that could have contributed to what we're seeing with planes skidding off the runways, or was the weather a causatory factor? What can you tell us about why planes are skidding off our runways? We had 2 incidents in November last year. This year, I have lost count. I don't know how many we've had this year alone.
well, yeah, I can see the concern again. You know, 1 time's a coincidence, 2 times a pattern. So we're seeing a pattern now. But I mean, this was totally different weather. It was dry weather. So again, if I speculate on weather or whatever, I'll be speculating at this time, and it's not my job to speculate. So I can't really say much. But yes, you're right. It is a concern for us at the NSIB now, because I mean, with the pace or the tempo at which they're happening, we had a near incident last weekend as well. So we'll be talking to the regulators as the Civil Aviation Authority and reaching out to the pilots as well, just to see what's going on, practices there and all that. So yeah, we are concerned with what's going on in our airspace, but we know it's inherently safe. As you've noticed, there's not been any loss of life besides the helicopter crash that we had a couple months ago, which, like I said, the prelim reports is ready and will be released by next Tuesday. So we're looking into it, but I want to assure the passengers that, again, it's still the safest form of travel, air, most efficient, and we're on top of the situation, and hopefully the regulators too are doing their jobs.
And I think Nigerians need that reassurance,
Yes.
right? And when issues like this happen, collaboration is very important. I heard you just say talking to other agencies. Now, in this specific case, with there sort of adequate coordination between your agency, FAN, other emergency response teams, and what sort of lessons can we learn from incidents like this when it comes to timely response or any other strategies?
Oh yes, I felt there was a pretty good coordination today between the NAMA, the FAN, the NCAA. Obviously, some information. There was a bit of a vacuum, which had passengers a little worried. But I think they got to it quickly, and we got the runway open fairly quickly. I think from start to finish it was 4 hours, and that just we had to make sure it was safe. The airplane was there. There was fuel in there. There's a bit of fuel leak. It's Harmattan, so we had to be sure to evacuate the fuel and make sure there was no loss of life or danger as planes were going to be taken off and landing again. So we got it done fairly quick today, and I'm satisfied with the response time today and the coordination. Of course, we're looking for better, quicker response times, and of course, better coordination between the agencies. But by and large, today it was a good exercise.
There was a Go team, your Go team, that responded to this.
Yes.
What did your Go team tell you they found at the site? That's I would like to know. But in your response to my question earlier, you did mention pilot protocols. And there are those who have asked, like I mentioned earlier, could it be weather? Could it be the runway? And perhaps pilot protocols, air traffic control systems. I want to ask you, what is usually responsible? Enlighten Nigerians why a plane will skid off the runway and to the grass verge.
Well, I can't
what are usually the factors responsible, since you don't want to speculate, but there are things that may likely cause planes to skid off?
Okay, well, I won't talk about planes, but let me clear this one up.
Yeah.
The airplane lost its right main landing gear, and that's what caused it to skid off the runway. We found it a couple hundred meters away from the airplane. So that's what caused it to skid off the runway. Of course, we don't know why it detached. So that's what we're going to try to figure out what happened right now. So for today, the airplane lost its right main landing gear. And that, I guess, would be a causal factor for it skidding off the runway. Is that
a common thing? Is that usual?
No, that's very uncommon. That's very uncommon. So we'll be looking into that, maintenance practices, pilot actions and all that. So we're going through the whole thing. The company, they've been cooperative. They brought their maintenance logs to us this afternoon. So they've been cooperating as well, the crew as well. So we'll hopefully get to the bottom of this fairly quickly.
And we'll see more information in the preliminary
and the causatory factors I was talking about. Why would we see planes skid off? It's your
There's so many reasons why that could happen. Again, that'll be speculating. But if you look on our website, there's so many reasons. I mean, it could be weather, pilot action, maintenance. There's always no crash.
Perhaps I should break it down. We've had a lot of these incidents, like you have acknowledged. We've had a pattern, like you put it.
Yeah.
What has been responsible for this pattern? Let me ask you that.
Yeah, with our prelims, they're up there. I can't say off the top of my head, but pilot action, weather as well has played a role in a few of them. But I wouldn't say that was a factor in today's. As you said, it was clear, dry weather today. So today's different. Previous ones, like I said, we've had weather, pilot action. So we'll be looking into all of that as well and publishing on our website.
Okay. You've spoken a lot about the website. Maybe you can just tell us what the website for the NSIB is. And when you took office, you spoke a lot about leveraging technology, data for proactive accident prevention. Can you share with us some of the innovations that you're considering to make when it comes to having that safety in Nigeria?
Yeah, we're learning. Again, AI is learning everything. It's all about learning and harnessing data. So we're taking that data and building a model. Like I said today, this is, one's a coincidence, two's a pattern. So we're seeing the pattern, and we're building patterns, and we're able to, I wouldn't say almost, I don't want to say predict because we're not there yet, but we can see and say, hey, it's about time. Something's happening. And we've seen, again, an uptick in these things in Nigeria. So we're talking to the regulators about that, about what's going on. And I'll be meeting with the Director General of the NCA as well to discuss, further steps and make sure our previous safety recommendations are being closed up as well. And our website, I know you mentioned that, it's www.nsib.gov.ng, and somewhere in there, you can navigate through it. We have our preliminary reports out there, and there's so many reports out there. This year we've put out 5 final reports. We have another 6 to publish on Tuesday, which is a record. I mean, that's 11 final reports in 1 year, and we have the prelim coming out as well. So we're picking up the pace now. We should have all those things out there.
Would you say there are challenges you faced in these investigations? Is it normal to have these investigations take the period of time that we are seeing them? For instance, Port Harcourt that happened, we just have the preliminary report done, so we don't even have a full report yet. And then you have this on your hand. So are there challenges you're facing as a bureau?
Of course there are challenges. You know, funding is one issue, manpower. We do need more manpower, more skilled manpower, you know, and like I said, funding. Unfortunately, this is a very specialized, I guess, skill set. And the people with the experience, you know, we're on a federal government pay scale. So it's very hard to attract, you know, the right talent that we need to come and stay in the bureau. I mean, we just had a young pilot leave us to go fly because, you know, again, money drives or motivates a lot of people. But we're getting there. We're talking to our minister, and hopefully we'll see more changes next year.
You think you're having Japa syndrome in your sector as well?
Well, not. Well, they went to another airline in Nigeria. So
Okay,
it's not
Nigeria. Okay.
But after the final investigation, after the final report, what then happens? What do we take away from that report, from the findings?
So we put out our safety recommendations, and we circulate to all stakeholders, so the aviation authorities, the airlines, and it's up to the regulator, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, to make sure those are implemented. And we have what's called a state safety program, where we interface with them back and forth to make sure those are closed, those recommendations are adhered to, and term is closed.
So do you see them being adhered to?
By and large, yes. You know, again, once there's a human in there, there's always going to be that error and tendency to maybe skirt one or two. But by and large, you know, most, I guess, aviators want to be safe because we all want to get back home to our loved ones. So.
But that doesn't sound convincing. It does sound like we put so much effort, resources, scarce resources that is not even enough for you into this investigation to ensure that these incidents do not recur. And then they happen. You know, when you say by and large, it does sound like nobody's taking this
there hasn't been,
seriously.
Well, again, I have to give that margin of error, you know, for the human part in there. But you must admit, it's the past 10 years has been fairly safe in Nigeria in that we've not had any mass casualty events when it comes to air crashes. I mean, this year with all the incidents and accidents, we've not lost any lives except the helicopter incident offshore. And I'm sure once our report comes out next week, the prelim, it will be clearer for you know, the public and all the stakeholders as well.
Well, we have to thank you so much. The Director General of the National Safety Investigation Bureau, Alex Badeh Jr., thank you so much for your time on Newsnight.